As time passes, you meet some very interesting people in your life, but nobody you've met is going to come close to the person that I met the other day. I met the first guy to play Mario 64 DS at E3 2004. Don't believe me? Come with me. Believe it or not, I had the chance to interview this guy. He told me he swam all the way to E3 2004. Can you believe it? He swam there? Goodness gracious, he's pretty cool. You'll be excited to meet him. Here he is. This guy is Todd. Todd made it all the way to E3 2004 just to play the demo of Mario 64 DS. You may not be able to understand him, so I translated the interview. He tells me back in 2004 it was the coolest thing to play Super Mario 64 on the go. He must have been the coolest guy around to play Mario 64 portably for the first time. Man. Super Mario 64 was Mario's first jump into 3D. In 1996, Mario 64 blew everybody away. This game was huge. This of course was back on the Nintendo 64, but after the N64 came the GameCube, where we got Super Mario Sunshine. While it was a different Mario, it was still 3D Mario at its core. As time goes, new consoles come out. While Mario was kicking it 3D in the home console department, Nintendo was destroying the portable game market with the Game Boy series. So naturally, a new portable gaming console came out, the Nintendo DS. The DS featured two screens that could function together at once. While the top screen couldn't, the bottom featured touch controls, which is why each one came with their own little stylus. And props to you if you never lost one of these. I think growing up, I lost and bought at least 60 of these. Anyway, a console can have neat features, but the main reason to buy a new console is the games. So, Nintendo needed something convincing to pull players to their newest handheld device. And I don't think Urban Assault GT or Spider-Man 2 were the games to do it. So, Nintendo showed off something huge at E3 before the console release. During their presentation, a clip of what looked like Peach's Castle grounds from Mario 64 running smoothly on a Nintendo DS with 4 players? This was huge. Not only was one of Mario's biggest adventures at the time, but on a handheld and multiplayer? This looked great. Then, closer to release, a more finalized product was shown off and, well, it looked like Mario 64 on the DS with 4 playable characters. But a big thing to mention here, the multiplayer was being shown off less and less. Well, now that the game released, we know why it was shown less and less. The full game is not multiplayer. There is simply a multiplayer battle mode. While the mode is still fun, it's a bit upsetting that there isn't full multiplayer, but that doesn't matter. It didn't matter. It's Mario 64 on the go. It was one of the DS's launch titles because, well, why wouldn't it be? It shows off what the console can do. This game opens up with a very similar cutscene to the last, except this time, instead of just Mario jumping out of the first pipe, 2 other pipes show up and both Luigi and Wario jump out. Already off to a great start. Then, the 3 of them run around for a little bit until Wario signals them over to the castle door, where the camera pans out revealing Yoshi sleeping on the castle roof, which is a reference to Super Mario 64, the original one, where Yoshi was on the roof after you collect 120 stars. What I love about this cutscene is it's literally the first 10 seconds of the characters being out of the pipe. It looks like exactly what would happen if you gave 3 close friends this game and told them to try it out together. What I hate about this cutscene is it gave me false hope for multiplayer. Now, when you start the game, things are completely different from the original. The game starts you out as Yoshi. Lakitu tells you that Mario and his friends have been captured and it's your goal to save them. So, what's the first thing you're gonna do here? Probably figure out how Yoshi varies from Mario in controls. Yoshi can flutter jump and do everything else Mario can do except punch. He kinda eats things because, well, that's Yoshi's signature move other than the flutter jump. I'm just saying it now, Yoshi's my least favorite to play as here. By the end of the video, you'll know the hierarchy of Mario 64 DS characters. Anywho, you run to the castle door and it's locked. Well, we tried our best. Time to go home. You've gotta find a key, so you run all over the castle lawn until you see a bunny. First plan of action? Eat it. Then he pleads for his life and gives you a key. Now, it's time to go save Mario and the crew. Now that you're past the opening, what's the first things you're gonna notice right off the bat that's different from the original? That you're on a DS and not a Nintendo 64. Being on a Nintendo DS brings you to a whole new control scheme because, well, you're missing some key things here. First off, the analog stick isn't here. This isn't good. Exploring a 3D environment with a D-pad makes me just want to... Well, now that we're past that, look at these two controller schemes again. See these buttons over here? They're used to control the camera. The DS doesn't have those. Instead, you click on these on the touchscreen. You can also use the shoulder buttons to position the camera behind the player. The game also introduces a run button, so without pressing it, your character will walk pretty slowly. It's safe to say I'm not a fan of the control changes here. I mean, yes, it's on a handheld, the ultimately more limited device, but my goodness, is this a rough transition. I wouldn't really know how to improve the controls with the DS's limited control scheme, but it is hard to get into this game if you're a strong Mario 64 fan. Anyway, from this point on, I made it my goal to save Mario as quick as possible. I am not a Yoshi fan. You'd expect this game to be super similar to the original, and while it is, there's still some new things here to accommodate the new playable characters. Like, for example, in level 1, Bob-omb Battlefield, you can't pick up King Bob-omb because Yoshi doesn't have that ability. It's a small detail, but it makes the game really enjoyable because it's not the same as the original, and it wants you to know that. Now, graphics-wise, this game looks great for a DS game. The environments have some sweet new textures and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed the small tweaks, but anyway, we have to save Mario. On your way to save Mario, you're greeted to a brand new level. This is my favorite part about this game by far, the character-specific levels. This is how you save Mario. You play through this brand new level that wasn't in the original Mario 64, then you fight an original boss that feels right at home with this game. So in my opinion, one of the best things about this game is how it separates itself from the original game. While it's very similar, there's enough to warrant a purchase here. Not to mention, overall, it's still Mario 64. But on the go. As you proceed through the castle, you run into the castle courtyard, which is still full of ghosts. But there's yet again a new level that's pretty cool. But anyway, while you're playing through the ghost house level, you see a Luigi painting. Wait a minute. L is real. Luigi was found, and technically it's in the courtyard. How can this be? How are they right? In case you didn't know, the L is real thing was a fan theory that fans created that Luigi was in Mario 64, the original one, the entire time. Now, recently it was kind of proved right with some data mining and stuff, but he's in Mario 64 DS. The joke just makes more sense if you understand the whole idea that the L is real thing was a really weird fan theory, but you know. Anyway, that's off topic. Anywho, when you save Luigi, you get to play through this amazing puzzle level that feels so similar yet so different from every level in the game. Then you fight King Boo, which is one of my favorite Mario boss battles. While it is quite easy, using the mirror to fight King Boo is a super cool mechanic. But then you save your bro. Now here's the question. How good is Luigi? There's no question about it, Luigi is the best character here. He can jump the highest, he can use the scuttle jump to float down without taking fall damage, he can float to safely with a backward somersault, and the man can run on water. There isn't any question here, Luigi is the best one. Well, now that you got Luigi, you proceed through the game until you finally find the Wario painting. Play through yet another sweet level, then unlock Wario. Now, how does Wario play? Imagine Mario, but with a stronger punch, a worse jump, and slower. The only real reason to play Wario is to break open a few locked areas that only Wario can open. Other than that, I mean, I'd rather play him than Yoshi if that means anything. So, with all the characters unlocked, Luigi is the best one to play as, of course. Mario is far second, Wario is third, and Yoshi is last. Once you unlock Mario, There's not much reasons to return to Yoshi. Now, once you've unlocked all the characters, the rest of the game is pretty similar to the original, which isn't a bad thing. The only two things I have yet to mention that this game adds is the battle mode and the minigame mode. Battle mode, you fight for stars, all the players fight as Yoshis, you can play 4-player or local multiplayer. It's pretty neat. But the minigame mode is something worth mentioning. These same minigames appear in New Super Mario Bros. DS, and most of these are high score based games, but it's fun to see these here. You unlock them by finding bunnies in the castle and going to the rec room in Peach's castle. So, overall, Super Mario 64 DS is a remake done right. I would go as to almost say this is the definitive version of the game, but playing it with limited controls is kinda rough. But why I love this game so much is because it's a remake done right. It adds 3 new playable characters, a battle mode, a minigame mode, a ton of new levels, and so many little details in and out of the game. I wish more recent remakes were like this one. This one does so much to enhance it and make it better than the original. But I can't in good conscience say this is the definitive edition because for some reason, you can control Mario with the touchscreen.